Well, hello and welcome to another video. So this video is going to be really exciting because in this video we are going to update the user from the database that exists in the database, and to do that we are basically calling two APIs at the same time. So let me just show you what we really gonna do in this video. So this is the application, and this is the three users that are existing in the database. So suppose I want to update this second user, which is Deepak, and I will click on this blue pencil, and when I click on this, a dialog box will appear with the values that Deepak have in his database row. All right. So that will going to be the first API to get the values of Deepak and show that. And when I submit when I click the button inside that dialog box, it will update the new values inside the database for Deepak. So that will be a second API call to update the values. So that's what we are going to do. And this rate, when I click on this rate bin, it should delete the user, which we'll cover later in the next video. So let's first focus on clicking on this blue pencil first. So to do that, we need to go to recycle view adapter, and we need to make an interface here. So let's make an interface. Just a minute. Interface my item click listener, and here we'll basically pass the position, and inside which in the body we will have the on click method function on click, and sorry, I will pass position here, not here in the interface. Sorry, that was my bad. And we actually don't need the parenthesis here. So that's it, and we can have my listener variable here, listener of type my item click listener. And as we change the parameters in the constructor, we need to go back to main activity, and we need to pass another variable here as well. So this, and this will also implement my item click listener, and we will, let me just collapse this, and we will basically implement this on click method here as well. So that's it. And now I'm sorry, go back to our CV adapter. We will first have an init block inside this inner class. So init block, and we need to have the position of the item that we are clicking. So val position equals to what we can write, item view dot adapter position, or actually we can directly access adapter position without item view, so that's good. I almost forgot. And now we can write edit image dot set on click listener, and here we are basically going to use this listener dot on click, and we're going to pass this position. But alongside this position, I want to pass another variable to check if we are clicking on the edit button or the delete button. So that another variable is going to be a boolean. So let's create a boolean status of type boolean, and I'm going to pass true for the edit functionality and false for the delete functionality. So now go back to main activity, and when we see here, it requires another variable which will be of type of boolean. So here we have. So now we'll check if the status is true. If the status is true, I want to call a function that will open the update dialog. So I'll call it open update dialog, and we'll pass actually we'll need to have a position ID of the user. So we'll pass we have array list and we have position as well. So array list, position, and we can access ID through this way. So now we can actually create a function for this dialog box. Sorry, let me just create it again. I messed up. Not abstract function. What am I doing? I'm really sorry. We can just create function like this way. So yeah, now here we are going to repeat the same thing. So to create a dialog box, so well, view, first of all we need to access the view. Let me just copy paste this line from here, because we are going to use the same view for the dialog box. And again, I can already copy this line as well. We'll need to make some few changes. Instead of submit, update the user, and we need to have this as well. So but instead of submit user, we don't need this. And I forgot parentheses here as well. And here what I'll do is that I'll call another API endpoint. So to do that, go to api.kt and have another get method, get, and the endpoint name will be get user by id dot php, and function will be get user by id, and we can pass the id here the same way that we have passed the user details in submit user method. So here we'll need to pass id of type string, and do not forget to have this notation form URL encoded, and this time this call will return the list of users. So write this and go back to our main activity. Well, we don't need this XML and this RCB wrapper as well, so let's close that. And here I'm gonna actually, when we are opening a dialog box, I want to make a call here itself, call of type call user, and we'll have retrofit client.api.get user by id, and we can pass, okay, actually sorry, I'm doing it at the wrong place. I'm really sorry. It's a submit dialog, not the update dialog. So let me just close it, and we can write it right at the top, and we can pass the id here. And now after this dialog instance, when we are showing the dialog, we can write call.enqueue, and we can create anonymous object function, and we can create a callback of type user, same way that we have done already, and implement member functions, and take this view.apply this whole block inside this onResponse method. What we want to do is that I want to set the the values to this name values that we get from this call, name dot text equals to response dot body dot data, and which we get only one data, so we can pass 0 directly, and name, so that way we can have access to the name here. And by the way, this is not allowing us, so what we can do outside this apply block, we can take a variable response body equals to, we can just assign this here, and we can use this resbody variable here, so it should allow us, but still not okay. So name is actually the edit text, so instead of text we can have dot set text method, because it's the edit text, not the text view. So we need to pass the data like this, and now it should allow us. So same way we can write the same thing for email and password. And again, I'm just gonna copy paste these values because it's similar, password and password. Now what will this do is that what we are doing, basically we are getting the ID from the position, and we are using that ID to fetch the data of that ID from the database, and we are fetching values of the user that is having that ID and displaying those values on these dialog box instances. So sorry, not instances, dialog box field. So now we can use this button dot on click listener, and we can call another method to update the values. So update user, and we can pass name dot text dot toString, email dot text dot toString, and password dot text dot toString. There we go, and we need to create a function for that as well. So what happened? Create a function, update user. What's happening? Okay, okay, now it has created a function for us, name, and we need to change the argument names, name, email, and password to make it easier to understand. Password, right? And yeah, do not forget to add a log here, because it might give you error if you don't. So $t.message, and have this tag in the quotation. So now to update the user, we are going to have another API endpoint. So go to api.kt, create actually what I'm going to do is that I'm just going to copy paste these values, and I'm just going to change the function name to update user, and instead of insert user, it should be update user. Sorry, user. Yeah, so should work. And now go back to main activity. Let's take a call variable, well, call of type string equals to retrofit client dot api dot submit not update user, and we can pass name, email, and password. Call dot enqueue, same way we can create an anonymous object, a callback of type string, implement member functions on response and on failure. And on response, I just want to make a snack bar dot make constraint layout and response body, so response dot body right there, and snack bar dot length long dot show. Do not forget to show at the end, and I'm just gonna copy paste this log here. So I think this should work. Let's run our application and see if it is working. Okay, so let's update this user, and it's closed. So something's wrong with our code. Let's run and let's check the logcat. What's wrong with our code? So let me just click on that again, and it's giving us for fetch error at line 46. Okay, what's this showing? Dot retrofit array index out of bound. Okay, actually I got what is wrong here. So we are having this position outside this on click listener, so that's where problem occurred. So let's have it inside the on click listener of edit text, edit image, and let's rerun the application, and it should work now, and still it's not working. So let's see. Okay, so it's saying that from URL and query can only be specified on HTTP methods with post request. So let's check in our API. So update actually here, okay, this is get which should be post here. So let's rerun. So you should avoid making this little mistake, and these mistakes mostly happen when you are trying to copy paste the code. You know, there are higher chance that you forget to change a little thing that can cause the error like this. So I'll take care of this. I'll try to avoid copy pasting when I am making videos. So it's good that this occurred, so you can also learn from this and make sure you do not copy paste. So anyway, the application is rerun, and if I click on the blue pencil, it's opening up the dialog and it's having these values. So okay, and if I update the password for DK, I'm just gonna type numeric password for him. Why it's not okay? 1 2 3 4 5 6, and I'm going to submit. And if I now check the database, and if I refresh the database, it should be updated here, which is not updated. So let's see what is happening in our code. Main activity. Okay, update user, and update user here. Basically, let's it should show us the snack bar on the when it's updated. So submit user and snack bar is not showing. So let's go to logcat and go to and write tag, and it's saying that the JSON response is not JSON that we are sending over the response is not well formed. So to overcome this issue, actually what's happening when we are sending JSON to update the user, actually we are not sending ID alongside it. So we need to send the ID alongside it as well. So when we are updating, when we are calling update here, I'll need to add ID here, which is string, and I'll need to change this update method here as well. Update user ID of type string, and we can send ID alongside it as well. And we need to change here API .kt file as well. We need to add one more field which is for ID. So let's add ID, and now if we try to rerun our application, it should work, as now we are sending each and every field alongside the JSON response, right? ID, okay, unexpected type of string. Why it's not okay? ID, actually we don't need to convert this to string, it's already a string. So we run the application again, and by the way, before running it, okay, I'll talk about this later if the application is running successfully. Okay, now click on the second user, and as you can see it's not changed, and I'll add 123 at the end and submit. And now as you can see, data is updated, the error is gone, and now if we check on the database as well, dk123123 is there. So now suppose let me just again let me just change the name dk and submit this. You cannot see any change in this list. So what we can do is that we can actually in update user on response, when we are closing the dialog, we can actually call get user method here, and also inside our submit user method as well. So when we are submitting a new user, it should be on the list when we are closing the dialog box as well. So let's now run the application and check if it is working or not. So open the application. Okay, it's not run yet. So yep, and now let me just rechange name of Deepak to normal. Okay, the emulator is giving me hard time, many. Okay, Deepak, and submit the user, and it's updated in the list as well. And now if I click on here and add another user, RJ, RJ at 123.com and 123456, whatever, and if I submit, we should get this user in the list as well. So that's how you update the values on that's how basically you update the values in the database using Retrofit library. That's how you use two APIs at the same time for the same functionality, one by one, not at the same time actually. So the API call is not simultaneous here. So that's how you use combination of API call to make a functionality in your application. So you need to practice a lot to think, build your logic. So I hope this is helpful video to you, and if it is, please like and subscribe to this channel and share this video to your friends as well. So I'll see you guys in the next video, where we'll see how we can click on this red bin and delete the user. So bye bye.